So I'm now going to show you how to use bus stop method. I've written the same question out twice so I can show you two different ways of doing it. One uses drawings to help and the other is something you do in your head. I've also got more difficult numbers to show you as well. So if we are drawing it out, what we are doing here is we're doing 96 divided by 3. This is your bus stop. What I always say to my class is that most people are sensible, so most people stand inside the bus stop. Some silly people don't stand inside the bus stop, so your biggest number goes in the bus stop, showing the sensible people, and your smaller number outside the bus stop, they're the silly people that want to get wet. But what I'm actually doing is 96 divided by 3. I just write it the other way around. So the first thing I need to do is I need to know how many groups of 3 can I make with 9 tens. So I'm going to draw out 9 tens in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm using the tens rod to demonstrate it. I now see how many groups I've made. 1, 2, 3 groups. I made 3 groups with my tens. Then I look at how many groups of 3 I can make with 6 ones. So again, I'm going to draw my ones out in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have made 2 groups. So I've got my answer of 32. If you do not need to draw it out anymore, this is what you do. You say, how many times does 3 go into 9? 3, 6, 9. 3 times. Then you say, how many times does 3 go into 6? 3, 6, twice. So I've got the same answer for both questions. It's just this one I have drawn it out to show visually what the answer is. Same over here. I'm now dividing by 2. I'm doing 48 divided by 2. So 48 sensible people inside my bus stop, 2 daft people standing outside in the rain. I need to make groups of 2 now. That number is telling me how many in a group. So I'm going to use 4 tens and make groups of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I made 2 groups. Now I'm making groups of 2 and I've got 8 to make it with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have made 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. And again, just like up here, you can do it without drawing them out if you count up in your 2 times table. So how many 2's in 4? 2, 4. There's 2. How many 2's in 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. 4. Same answer, different method. So now we're going to move on to what happens when our numbers do not fit so easily into each other. Again, I will show you twice, one where I draw it out and one where I don't. Just write out the questions again so you can see. So the first one, I'm doing 423 divided by 3. So I need to know how many groups of 3 I can make with my hundreds. So again, I'm going to draw them out in groups of 3. And I'm using my 100 square to do it. Right, I have got 1 group of 3, but I've got 1 left over. I need to move that 1 over here. Move it across. You can't ignore it, otherwise you're not doing the sum that it says here, the calculation. Now I'm going to say how many groups of 3 can I make with 12 tens? So I'm going to draw out 12 in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 groups. Because I had exactly 4 groups, there's nothing to move over, there's nothing to regroup. So now I say, how many groups of 3 can I make with 3? 1, 2, 3. I've made 1 group. If you don't need to draw it out, what you need to do is count up in your 3's until you get as close to 4 as you can, but you cannot go higher than it. So I would go 3, 6. Right, 6 is too high. I got to 3. So I'd put a 1 up there, and I'd say, how many did I have left over? Well, I wanted to get to 4, but I only got to 3, so I have 1 left over. Now I'm going to count up in my 3's until I get to 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. I got exactly to 12, so I can write an exact number and I don't need to regroup. Now I say, how many times does 3 go into 3? 3. 1 time. Okay, the bottom number now, I'm doing 608 divided by 4. So when I draw it out, I'm drawing everything in groups of 4. So I'm going to start with my tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, again, I've only made one whole group. So I'm going to put a 1 up there. I've got one whole group. I, this time, have got 2 left over. So I need to regroup those 2 and move both of them over into my tens column. Now I'm going to say how many groups of 4 can I make with 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've made exactly 5 groups, so there's nothing that I need to regroup. Now I say, how many groups of 4 can I make with 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 group, 2 groups. Okay, and again, without the pictures, I count up in 4s until I get as close to 6 as I can, but not going higher than it. So 4, 8. 8's too high, so I can only get to 4. I can only make 1 group. I was at 4. I wanted to get to 6, so how many more is that? It's 2 more, so I regroup 2. Now I count up in my 4s until I get to 20. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 5. Now I count up in my 4s until I get to 8, 4, 8. That is 2. Sometimes you might have a question where you have to regroup more than once, so I will show you what that looks like. So let's say we have 756 divided by 2. So first up, I'm going to say how many groups of 2 can I make with 7? I could draw them out, or I can count up 2, 4, 6 and see how close I can get. 5, 6, 7. Right, I have made 1, 2, 3 groups, but I've got 1 left over, so I need to regroup it. I need to move it here. Now I'm going to say how many groups of 2 can I make with 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups, and I have got 1 left over that I need to regroup. Now I'm going to say how many groups of 2 can I make with 16? So again, you can either count up 2, 4, 6 until you get to 16, or you can draw it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups. Therefore, my answer is 378.